Good now, y'all. Okay, on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, different Facebook communities, as well as Instagram Live right now. So what I wanted to talk to you all about today is that if you want to be a good leader, a strong leader, it is mandatory that you learn how to serve. Okay, so I know that like the number one question that I get from entrepreneurs who've been asking me, they want to grow on social media, they want to grow their brand, they want to get their brand to be an international brand. And the only focus that they have is doing the work, right? Oh, if I just got my branding and marketing together, that's what will help me get to the next level. Or if I just raise my prices, that's what will help me be valued in the space. But I'm going to be completely transparent with you all. If serving is above you, leadership is beyond you. The reason why I've gotten a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten, the reason why I've gotten a lot of the exposure that I've gotten has 100% to do with the fact that I'm always open to volunteering my time. So if I can go and speak to a certain community about financial literacy or money management, I never know who those people are connected to. And it's always been something to where they've been connected to a broader audience, and someone in the audience hears me, they're like, man, we want you to come speak to our audience as well. And so usually doing something for free in that capacity and just donating my time and serving and having a heart to give has always led to some sort of income producing activity or income producing engagement or income producing product, right? So while as an entrepreneur, I get it. You want to scale. You want your brand to get, certain levels of attention through what you're doing on social media and all those things. But I challenge all of you to really develop a skill set and really develop some character development in being able to serve. It's a personal thing in my brand where every single month we give and we serve. So within my personal community, Bougie and Bausch University, the ladies in there, we give to a nonprofit once a month. And then I also reach out to that nonprofit and I ask them if I can donate my time to teach money management or to teach, your relationship around money, not because I'm looking to gain anything from it, but I do understand that if you give to others, then that impact is then created. And then that's what, ultimately will build your brand. Okay, so do I post content on social media? Yes. Does my content do very well? Yes. But it would all fall on deaf ear, in my opinion, if I didn't do the things that I do on a consistent basis, which is look for opportunities to continue to pour into other people. So here's some books that really kind of help structure my mindset in that space. Okay, so The Go-Giver is an awesome book. I don't know if you guys have ever read this book before, but this is phenomenal. If you want this book, I have it. I have the PDF of this book if you want it, but I think it's like $9 on Amazon. And then another one is Good to Great. So Good to Great focuses on talking about like finding the right people to have in your business that will help you take your business to the next level. But it also talks about the people who are in your business and how they're willing to serve. And so in looking at that, I'm like, yes, like definitely you need to be a servant. There's no way you can be a great leader if you don't have that, if you don't have a heart to be able to listen to people and be able to be empathetic with people's problems or what they're going through. If you can't provide some sort of resource outside of somebody paying you, then that's just showing that you're only looking for one thing. If somebody comes to me and they say, hey, sis, I need help. My funds aren't in the place where they need to be, but I know that I need help and I'm looking to learn. The very first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to point you in the way of a resource that can help you. Once you're able to pay me, if you still want to work with me, then we can take it to the next step. But just because you can't pay me doesn't mean I'm not going to offer something that's going to help you. That's one of the reasons why I have a resource vault. That's one of the reasons why I do free mini workshops. That's one of the reasons why I go speak in different communities. For example, today, I just went and I spoke at an elementary school and I spoke to them about entrepreneurship. And these were first graders, y'all. First graders. And all of them, at this particular elementary school, they had the girls separated from the boys, right? So I spoke to a group of girls and they were talking about what they wanted to be when they grew up. So some of them wanted to be nail techs, makeup artists. Some of them wanted to own their own hair salon, and they had big dreams. But when I was little, and I don't know about when you were little, but we would have these big dreams, but seldom did we have someone feed into the thought of entrepreneurship. It was always the thought of going to college that was fed into us. And so talking to them and saying like, hey, you can be whatever it is you want to be. Like really believe that. That's the strongest thing that you can have is the belief. And just know, babies, it's not always going to be easy. It's not always just going to come to you. You're really going to have to fight for that. So one of the things that we did was I tasked them. Okay, you know how we as adults, we have vision boards. We have vision boards, right? And so I told the kids, I said, I want you to draw exactly what you want to be when you grow up, right? And I want you to put that in your room, right next to your bed on your wall. And then I gave them something. Okay. So I gave them something because they were like, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want to make a lot of money. Because in their mind, entrepreneurs make a lot of money, right? But we all know that entrepreneurs, it gets kind of rough out there. Okay. And then if you fail enough, you fail forward enough, you'll land where you're supposed to land. But so they were like, I want to be an entrepreneur because I want to make a lot of money. So what I did was I gave each of them believe money, right? So we call it believe money. So we would say manifestation money, but I call it believe money. So they told me, we did an affirmation. Affirmation was, I believe when I grow up, I will be. And it was whatever they said that they were going to become. And then I gave them believe money. And I told them, if you believe in it enough and you follow those dreams, you will be able to create the income that you desire, right? And then I told them, when you do that, I need you to go back and I need you to create an impact. So we talked about impact, right? Helping others, going back and pouring into other people. And we talked about income and entrepreneurship. So it was just so cool. I felt so fulfilled, y'all. Those babies didn't know me from a can of paint. By the time I left, they were just giving me the biggest hugs. They were just like, oh, can we take pictures with you? And then in Atlanta public school system, this is where all these kids were that I spoke to. So I told them, I was like, you know, y'all, I wrote my first book. And the look on their faces to see someone that looks like them on the cover of a book, I didn't realize how, I didn't realize they'd be surprised. I was just like, hey, y'all, look, I wrote my first book. And I showed it to them. They were like, that's you? You're on the book? That's you? Oh my, like immediately just like clicked in their head, like, wow, I want a book. I want to have my own book. And it was just the craziest thing, because usually when I'm talking to people and I'm talking to them about my book, you know, it's about like how it can help them. But now when I'm talking to these babies, they're now envisioning something within themselves that they hadn't necessarily seen before. So one girl asked me, she was like, can I write a book about owning my hair salon? I was like, yeah. Can I write a book about makeup? Yeah, like do those things. And so they were asking if they could keep the book and all these things, but it was just so awesome. So I encourage y'all, if you're an entrepreneur and you're really looking to have your business grow, you're really looking to, you know, have an international brand. Like I feel very blessed that my brand is in 20 countries. I feel very blessed that my book has sold in 7 countries, right? But it would have never happened, in my own personal opinion, had I not had a true heart to serve. So I just ask y'all, if you want that whole thing, you know, with your business, if that's where you see your business going, ask yourself, am I positioning myself to be an actual leader? Do I have a heart to serve? Do I have humility? How am I speaking to people? How am I pouring into people? Am I talking down to them to build them up, right? How am I how are those conversations going? Or do I see them for who they see themselves for, and am I pouring into that? If you have a service-based business, like, are you really coming at it from a place of love? Okay, if you have a product-based business, what does your product speak to? Because your products are going to speak to the values that you have as a person, right? Your brand is going to speak to the values that you have as an individual. So how are you bringing that to the forefront? And how can you, going into the next season, okay, we're getting ready to move into holiday season, how can you position yourself or your brand to lead through serving? Maybe if you have a product-based business, maybe you should do like a coat drive or a can drive and have your brand, you know, facilitated, right? And then have like your brand facilitated and promote your products and things like that as you do that, but serve through that and bring attention and awareness to your brand by giving to the community and not always think about sales, right? Or if you're a service-based business, Why not think about seeing if you can go speak to different communities, right? Who's your target audience? Who is your target audience, and how can you pour into the people that are connected to that target audience? Think about it. Okay, and the books that I was talking about, this one's called The Go-Giver. For everybody up there, this one's called The Go-Giver. And then there's also this book, it's called Failing Forward. It's by John C. Maxwell. This book is awesome as well, y'all. Failing Forward by John C. Maxwell. And I'm going to quickly go over the points that he has in here about the steps to failing forward. Because I feel like in this journey, when the income doesn't come, we take it as our business must be failing. But maybe your business isn't necessarily failing. Maybe it's going through its growth point so that it can become successful. All right. And so when you're going through that, you have to continue to push through it. I would have never been in the position that I'm in if I hadn't continued to get back up. Every time that I have failed in entrepreneurship, I got back up. And even when I thought entrepreneurship was no longer for me and I canceled it out of my own picture, there was just something that was stirring inside of me that says, get up. There's more for you. There's more for you to do, right? If you're the type of person who in the middle of the night you're waking up because there's just these creative ideas flowing that you don't know why they just keep flowing. Or if you're the type of person when you're at work, you go off and you start daydreaming about all these different things that you can do or accomplish, then entrepreneurship is for you. Okay. But you have to develop the discipline and you have to develop the grit that's going to allow you to see that through. Because a lot of people, what the problem is, especially in entrepreneurship, is we're afraid of failing. We don't want to be seen in the light of not doing good. But most people who become successful entrepreneurs have failed a bunch of times. And then what happens is the people who do see them do well are the ones who have seen them do well now 13 years later. Because y'all weren't there when I had the in-home daycare. Y'all weren't there when I had the women's only gym with childcare, and both of those fell and went belly up. Where y'all came in is when people started knowing me for money management and budgeting and saving and investing, but y'all weren't there when I had closed out bank accounts in the negative, right? So it took all of those failed things to build where I am now, and then me having the heart to serve and pour into other people and say, hey, bro, I've been there. I can help you get out of this. Let me just talk to you. That's what eventually built my brand. When I first started, y'all, I was in Clubhouse doing $2 Cash App games, trying to pay people to learn about financial literacy. And then it built to become what it is now. That's how I got on the Anthony O'Neill show. And then because I had a heart to serve, I was serving. I was giving away money for people to learn about money. And I was just giving it out of my own heart. Okay. And Anthony popped in the room and was like, yo, Raquel, I like what you're doing. I want you on my show. I didn't even know who he was. But your heart will make way for your gift. Every single time. So if you focus on failing forward, okay, it says step 1, realize there's one major difference between average people and achieving people. Average people, we think about doing, but we seldom act on doing. Average people are afraid of failing. People who achieve don't care if we fall. You're just going to be like, well, there's something for me to learn from here. So what do I need to learn? And the faster I learn it, the faster I can move on to the next thing. Okay? Learn a new definition of failure. Okay, if you fail, you've learned something. If you failed, there is something to gain from that. And I actually look forward to the times when things don't go well, because there's another opportunity for me to take my business to the next level. There's another opportunity for me to grow and develop, because then that means that every single floor is a new floor. That where my current ceiling is now going to become a floor for me. Okay? Remove the you from failure. You are not a failure. Failing happened to you. You yourself are not a failure. And take action and reduce the fear. So if you have an idea, right? Like I have a community, it's called Topic to Profit, and it's a free Facebook group that I created for people who want to be entrepreneurs or like want to grow their business and all that kind of stuff, right? So Take action and reduce your fear. If you have an idea, act on it immediately. And immediately. Because if you delay on acting on it, you're going to delay, period. And there's a lot of people who wait for perfect. And there's no such thing as perfect. There isn't a single thing in this world that is perfect besides God. That's it. So if you're always waiting to release a product, you're waiting to start a service because you're waiting on perfect to happen, it's just not going to happen. But if you start now and you let people in on your growth and they see you growing as an entrepreneur, they see you developing as a person, then what's going to happen is they're going to want to join that process. They're going to trust you more because you didn't come in as an expert. You're not lying about anything. They're like, dang, I watched this person get it from square one to where they are now. Okay? Act on that. Reduce that fear. Change your response to failure by accepting responsibility. I see this all the time in my community. There's a bunch of people who will come in and they're like, I'm this way financially because all of these things have happened to me. But at the end of the day, they happen to you because you allowed them to happen. Okay? With relationships, friendships, your job, all of those things. They're all things that have happened to you. And people are only going to do to you what you allow them to do. That is in every umbrella of the sense. Business, friendships, relationships, all of it. Right? So once you start changing that, then you can start getting what you're looking for, especially when it comes to business. Okay, so I'm going to stop with, there's 15 of them, but the book is really good. So if you want to see your business grow, if you want to see it develop, if you want to create an impact, if you want to become, the person that people are like, dang, this person is genuine. Like I can really feel where they're coming from. I admire them, all that stuff that people say. If you want to become those things, lead with your heart. If you're a business owner, I want you to go identify somewhere that you can serve once a month. Okay, last month we gave to, I can tell you, last month, my community, we gave to Diva's Mentoring Program, which helps young ladies. Where is this? It helps young ladies. Let's see. Oh, it helps young ladies with just developing in themselves, having like self-confidence and all those things. When I was younger, I went to a self-esteem program because I got bullied a lot when I was a kid. And so I wanted to always be sure that when I was an adult, if I had the opportunity, I was able to go back and do those type of things. So Diva's Mentoring Program, it helps some with that. And then in September, we gave to Stand Up for Kids. And Stand Up for Kids provides emergency shelter assistance to homeless youth in crisis by getting them out of the streets and putting them into a shelter immediately. So that's what we did the past 2 months. And next month we'll be giving to another nonprofit. And next month I'll be donating my time to another community. But I implore you, I ask you to please, y'all, please, please, please become a servant of your craft. If the only thing you're looking for is income, you're not really going to get that far. Okay? And if you're someone who wants to get around people that you look up to, like let's say like Grant Cardone or Les Brown or, those type of speakers and stuff, and you're like, dang, I can't afford to pay tickets to go there, look for volunteer options so you can learn from these people and potentially have them become a mentor of yours. It all starts with serving. When there were events I couldn't, like the Bob Proctor event when I went in 2019, certain events with different companies that I would go to, I couldn't necessarily afford for the tickets, but what I looked for was opportunities to volunteer. And I would get a volunteer t-shirt and I would have to work before the event or after the event. But guess what? I was able to get in the event for free. I was able to learn. I was able to get what I was looking for because I served. Okay. So I just wanted to come in real quick and talk to y'all about that. I'm about to go make a reel about what's going on with Twitter and Elon Musk and all this fun stuff that's happening. It's more stuff about the economy. I'll be going live tonight about it as well. So please make sure you have your post notifications turned on. You all know on Instagram, I do not save my lives at all. So please turn your post notifications on. The other thing is for tuning into this live, if you want this book, good to great, and you haven't gotten this from me, please DM me and say, sis, can you send me good to great? This is my gift to you guys for tuning into the live with me. I truly appreciate you spending your time with me. And then I will be looking for failing forward. I haven't been able to find this one yet for y'all, but for right now, good to great. If you want it, please let me know and I will get it over to you ASAP. So as always, y'all, thank you for tuning in with me. I'll see y'all later tonight around 9 o'clock. We're going to be talking about investing. We're going to be talking about the economy. We're going to be talking about Twitter and Elon Musk and all that fun stuff, okay? But I wish you guys all the best. Talk to you later. Bye.